Most people believe something dangerous about the brain. They believe that once something starts, it only gets worse, especially after 30, after 40, after stress, after noise exposure. They assume decline is automatic. But what if that assumption is exactly what keeps the problem locked in? If you've noticed the ringing in your ears becoming more constant, more noticeable, especially in silence, this is important. Because the brain does not simply wear out, it adapts, always. The real question is not whether your brain changes, it's how it's changing. Many people think tinnitus is purely an ear problem, damage in, ringing out, end of story. But that explanation doesn't fully answer something strange. Why does the ringing often feel louder at night? Why does it spike during stress? Why does it seem stronger in silence even when nothing new has happened to your ears? Here's what most people are never told. Your brain is a prediction machine. It constantly scans your environment for patterns, sound patterns, threat patterns, repetition patterns. When external sound decreases, the auditory system doesn't go quiet, it becomes more sensitive. Imagine turning up the volume on a radio to detect a faint station. If the signal is weak, the gain increases. Now imagine certain neural circuits becoming slightly over-responsive, not broken, not destroyed, just more sensitive. The brain, trying to interpret signals, may begin amplifying internal electrical noise that was always there. Normally, those signals never reach conscious awareness, but when sensitivity rises, awareness follows. That's why the ringing often feels louder in quiet rooms. Silence didn't create it. Silence removed the masking. Now here's where it gets deeper. The brain strengthens what it pays attention to. Every time you check for the sound, every time you test the silence, every time you wonder, is it still there? Neural pathways related to that signal become more stable. Repetition builds wiring, and wiring builds habit. What starts as occasional can become persistent, not because it's unstoppable, but because it's being reinforced. Stress accelerates this. When the nervous system is on alert, sensory systems become sharper, more reactive, more vigilant. That includes hearing. Anxiety doesn't create the signal, but it can amplify awareness of it. Then the cycle begins. You notice it, you worry about it, you listen for it. It feels louder, you worry more, and over time, the brain may treat that signal as important input. Important signals don't fade easily. But here's the part that changes everything. The same neuroplasticity that strengthens patterns can weaken them. Research across neuroscience shows something powerful. The brain does not peak at 30 and decline into rigidity. It remains adaptable, capable of rewiring, capable of recalibrating sensitivity, capable of reducing overactive responses. If internal balance improves, if overstimulation decreases, if the nervous system shifts from hyperalert to regulated, amplification can decrease. And when amplification decreases, the ringing often moves into the background. Not because it was attacked directly, but because the conditions supporting it were adjusted. Most people try to fight the sound, mask it, drown it out, ignore it. But if the mechanism is neurological amplification, wouldn't supporting the brain's regulation system make more sense than simply covering the noise? Think about this carefully. If the brain strengthened the pattern through repetition, it can also weaken it through guided recalibration. If stress increases sensitivity, reducing internal stress load may reduce amplification. If attention locks the signal in, redirecting neural focus may loosen it. This is not about pretending it isn't there. It's about understanding why it behaves the way it does. Because once you understand the mechanism, you stop reacting blindly and you start addressing the right system. If the ringing has slowly become more constant, if silence feels different than it used to, if nights feel longer, that's not something to ignore. but it's also not something to assume is permanent. There is a full presentation that explains this brain-based mechanism step by step. It breaks down why internal signals get amplified, why repetition stabilizes them, why stress feeds the loop, and what some people are doing to support healthier auditory balance instead of just masking the sound. This short video can't go into the full model, but the complete explanation connects the dots clearly. If you want to understand what may actually be happening inside your brain and why the ringing behaves the way it does, watch the full presentation carefully. The link is in the description below. Don't skim it. The most important insight comes later when the underlying process becomes clear. Your brain is adapting every single day. The only question is it reinforcing the ringing, or is it being guided back toward balance? Watch the full explanation and decide before more time passes.